Chiefs Jags. This was also a weird one for me because, yeah, the Chiefs won, but they didn't win at the hands of Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce did get a touchdown. Okay. But really, the difference maker here, why the Chiefs won that game was the defense. Chris Jones took over this game, and that's what really kept the Jags or the Chiefs in it, because had it not been for that defense, the Jags would have taken over this game. And because Jags defense also wasn't bad either, by the way. They held the Chiefs to 17 points. So I think that it's – I don't want to say that I'm – and obviously it's overreaction Monday. But I don't want to say that the Chiefs are in trouble. But if they don't figure out the offense here soon and develop their wide receivers, they're very young, but I think that they need to figure something out with their wide receivers and get Patrick Mahomes and them gelling like they should be. Otherwise, it could become dangerous getting late into the season if they don't figure that out.
Well, luckily they have the fortune of they play the Bears next week. That could be a good way to get back on track.
Yes.
They
should be a good confidence.
They play the Jets, which the defense for the Jets is tough, but the Jets are going to have trouble scoring points without Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Yeah. This was the weird part of the game for me, is that the Chiefs turned the ball over 3 times. Jaguars only once.
Right.
And the Chiefs won by 8.
Yeah.
Very odd game in general, and especially when you felt like Trevor Lawrence might have – this was the big moment. We actually talked about it last week. Even though this is not a make or break by any means in any situation, but when you get a chance at a Super Bowl champ defending – who's going to be still the favorites in the conference, and this is your shot, even though it's early, Can you be prepared? And it's at home. And you had Trevor Lawrence 22 of 41 for 216. So – almost a 50% completion percentage, sacked 4 times. Unfortunately, just was not good enough for the team, but I still believe in the Chiefs. I think the fact that their defense is even playing better is scary for everyone else. I'll go to the flip side. If the Chiefs offense gets going, then the Chiefs deservedly so should be the number one. Or sorry, the offense gets going, then the Chiefs deservedly so will be the number one option.
Well, especially if the defense keeps playing like they do
with the Baltimore Ravens, though. I do think Baltimore has jumped up into that conversation. That maybe is my overreaction for Monday, but I do think the Chiefs and Ravens are the top 2 teams.
Yeah. How about Chris Jones just coming in? No practice, no summer camp, no nothing, and he just comes in like he just owned the place, and like nothing happened. Just showed up and balled out.
We talk about a guy where it doesn't matter that you're going to go out there and perform.
Yeah.
And this was the knock the Chiefs got, is this defense is nothing without Chris Jones. Then it went, well, shit, they were actually pretty solid without Chris Jones. And then it's now, they're a really good unit right now after 2 weeks with Chris Jones. I mean, the Lions offense is solid.
Yeah.
And you did,
as we saw this past week,
and you did a tremendous job against them. Jacksonville's an offense that has really tremendous pieces, and you hold them to 9 points. Really was tremendous, and I do think that the Chiefs coaching staff and Steve Spagnuolo as the defensive coordinator has been around the block. He's got his pieces, and they have guys believing early that they can go out there and stop everyone. And the Chiefs are still going to be favored to win. I'm not buying any of that bullshit that the Chiefs are not going to be the favorites. They're going to win the AFC West again.
Here's what I will say. Eric Bieniemy's presence, or lack thereof, is certainly felt. I mean, you just look at the average points scored with the Commanders versus the Chiefs right now, and I think that certainly paints a little bit of a picture. I think people can start thinking about that, because Eric Bieniemy has certainly made a difference on the Commanders right now. Sam Howell looks pretty darn good, and we're going to see how the Commanders stack up against some really solid teams, because the last 2 weeks they're against some pretty soft teams. But, I think that it certainly looks like Eric, the lack of Eric Bieniemy's presence on the Chiefs is being felt in the moment right now. We'll see. I mean, Andy Reid has worked wonders on developing wide receivers. I'm sure he'll be just fine doing it here as well this season with who he has. Kadarius Toney didn't drop any balls this week, so I guess they're happy about that. And so if he continues to do that, maybe we'll see. But yeah, so I do think that's been a big difference so far for the Chiefs this season.
Well, and also then the other guy, Travis Kelce, is not fully healthy yet. you know?
Right.
And yeah, granted, he had 9 targets, but he had 4 catches for 26. That's ultimately going to get better. He's a stud, but
Yeah.
he's not 100%. But clearly, if he doesn't play,
Yeah.
you need to figure out who's your guy or who's guys that you can depend on, because that was a serious question mark.
Right.
And even though Kelsey hopefully should be good the rest of the year, bone bruise, and he's by it, there is always the possibility then if he gets hurt, your offense looks completely different.